So although it's nobody's fault, right? It's nobody's fault, but it was just a reminder, and I shared that with him. I was like, that's even triggering for me to hear you tell me why, or to not be able to understand like why I'm affected by it. I just sometimes would think that somebody is going to stand up for me and be like, oh, they tripping, they don't know nothing, just somebody to say something that makes me feel better, because at the end of the day, I'm still human, right? So that came up with the conversation, and of course he apologized. He said, Mom, I'm sorry for making you feel like you weren't protected, to make you feel like your feelings were not heard and you were not seen. He said, I apologize for that. That wasn't my intention. And then I also said to him, yeah, of course it ain't for you to really, I have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? That's my stuff. But I just thought I would share that with you. And he was like, yeah, no, that wasn't my intention. You know who you are. You know what you're about. So you don't have to worry about what anybody else says. So last night I was having this very same conversation with a friend of mine. And I mentioned the same thing. I was like, we were on the phone, but at the same time, I'm scrolling through the comments on my YouTube video, right? And I guess he could hear that I was distracted, and he was like, are you still there? Are you listening to me? I was like, yeah. I said, I just came across this comment where this dude, I'm assuming it was a dude, maybe it wasn't a dude, I don't know, but they said, are you sure you weren't once a man? And he responded the same way, like, Mo, are you a man though? You already know. I mean, like, why do you care? Like, why do you care what they say? Are you a man? So I explained to him, I remember when I was growing up, the neighborhood that I lived in when I was in middle school, all the girls were pretty much hot in the ass, right? I was the tomboy. And I think a part of me being a tomboy was if I could dress in those baggy jeans and the t-shirts and the K-Swiss, because that was my gear. That's what I wore all the time. I wore Levi's, I wore t-shirts, and I wore K-Swiss. That was my attire. And if I dressed like that, then nobody would look at my body. Nobody would want to touch my body. Nobody would want to be inappropriate with my body. And when the clothing didn't work, then I covered up with food. So again, it's in my book, Permission to Power. But I said to him, I think it's triggering for me when I read things like that say, are you sure you weren't a man? He was like, of course, surely you ain't no goddamn man, so why do you care? Like, why are we even talking about it? And I was like, it takes me back to a time in my childhood where I was a tomboy, and for my own personal reasons, I hung out as one of the boys in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm masculine, then nobody's gonna mess with me. They're not gonna find me appealing. So nobody's gonna touch me. They're not gonna want to touch me. They're not gonna, have all these inappropriate comments. Of course, that didn't work. But I said, it just takes me back to a hurtful time. And then he goes, well, that just goes to show you have work to do in that area. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, because a lot of times we'll be triggered by things that remind us, and sometimes we don't even know where it came from. Like, why am I triggered by this? I'm just very much self-aware, and I know when things hurt me, it's like, okay, that's the body's alarm. That's the body's alert. Okay, you need to look at that. You need to pay attention to that. And some of us don't do that. We just go through our lives like, this is just how I am. Shit, this is just who I am. Take it or leave it. And it was a reminder like, okay, I have to delve into the things that are triggering from complete strangers. Why is it, not even why, we already know why, I just discussed why. But how do we heal those areas? That little girl, that innocent little girl who was looking for love, attention, protection. She was looking for somebody to stand up for her. She was the wounded girl because somebody always had something to say about her body. And y'all don't even really know this. Like, this is a fun fact about me. I give y'all MoTheGoddess online. I'm being very transparent and vulnerable here on my YouTube channel, which I mostly am, especially when I'm sharing my thoughts and my feelings. I'm who I am. But online, most of the time, I am MoTheGoddess. I'm the beautiful one, the strong one, the sexy one, the outgoing one, the don't take no shit one, the badass. I am all those things, right? But Mona White is just Mona White. I'm a human. I have feelings. You know, I'm not as outgoing. I'm pretty much an introvert. I stay to myself. That's where I find my peace, my tranquility. That's where I find the most comfort. When I'm dressed in a hoodie, you know, big hoodie, big baggy pants with my sneakers on. That's where I find the most comfort. So what I showed to you is MoTheGoddess. But at the end of the day, Mona White still has feelings. And she still has, you know, childhood traumas. And she's still trying to figure this thing out. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because so many of us, we cover up and we act as if, you know, nothing bothers us and, you know, we're so strong. And it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be, to feel pain. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to say, you know, that didn't feel good. But at the same time, it is also our responsibility to figure out why it doesn't feel good and begin to heal and work on those things. I was raised around boys most of my life. So there's a certain masculinity that comes along with me, a certain hardness, a certain strength, where I found like it was just a defense mechanism. Like it was a way that I had to conduct myself in order to survive. So being raised around boys a lot, I talk a lot about the fact that boys never wanted to date me when I was growing up. Boys weren't attracted to me. They picked me first to be on the their kickboxing team, kickball team, tetherball team. They knew I was gonna get down in track and field. I played powder puff football, so the boys wanted me to be on their team because I've always been very athletic. But at the same time, there is a feminine, soft side that I've hidden for many years. I raised 2 sons by myself. I remember when I was pregnant with my first son and we found out it was going to be a boy. My mother said to me, "You are the perfect person to have a boy. I can't see you with a girl." And I always wanted a little girl, you know, make her cute and put on cute clothes and do her hair and stuff like that. But I wound up having 2 boys. So again, there's a certain level of masculinity that comes with that. Nothing that I'm proud of. I love the fact that I have such duality as far as my feminine and my masculine energy. I now know how to balance them. And when I'm in my creative zone, you know, when I'm, you know, just doing my bathing and rubbing my body down. You know, those are things that make me feel feminine. When I'm with a man that I desire, that desires me, it just does something with me. But anyway, y'all, yeah, so I just wanted to share that because it's something that I'm working through. So what I have decided to do, don't think I'm ignoring y'all. Now that the platform is growing, I'm like I said, I'm happy that it's growing, but I'm just stay out of them comments. I'm gonna just stay out of the comments. I'm gonna post because that's really what I'm here for anyway, to post my stuff. And like I said, to hope that it hits with somebody. Like you can take something that I say, a certain experience, maybe something that, you know, I'm doing in my life, like, you know, my skincare products, or something that I really find to work for me in my life, because that's one thing I don't do. I don't show y'all anything or talk about anything that I don't actually use or experience myself. I don't try to teach you nothing that I haven't been through myself. I don't try to teach you nothing that I don't know for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I like to share here because a lot of what I go through, I get to talk myself through it. And sometimes when you can hear yourself speak without the feedback, without the, oh, girl, you get over there. Oh, girl, you... But is you a man, though? You know you ain't no man, so why do you care? You know, it helps you to actually hear yourself. And sometimes you sound stupid as a motherfucker, right? Like, girl, that's some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really said that. Sometimes you need that. But for me, I just, you know, oftentimes I need to talk myself through what I'm going through, and I share it with you, and I let you see what that looks like. I let you feel what I've gone through, because I am a very emotional person. So hopefully when I speak to you, it's with the passion that I actually feel. Like you can feel my energy, you know, and it'll hit for you too. It'll make you think, if nothing else. Yeah, you know, my life has never been a perfect life. My life ain't perfect now. I have come such a long way in my growth process, and I still have such a long way to go, and I'm excited about that. I look forward to it. You know, like I said, I'm very intentional with the things that I do, the things that I find important to me. I don't want to be on the bottom of the food chain, so to speak. So I do things that better my situation, better my mental state, better my body and how I feel, better my spirituality. I'm open to learning, you know, new things, and I look forward to hearing others who kind of experience some of the things that I experience, because we are all one collective consciousness. If we are willing to put ourselves out there, or if we're willing to listen, we will find that we all doing the same shit. We all in this together. You know what I'm saying? Like we all play a role in what's happening in the world. If we really stop and we look at it and we listen and we're willing to share, we're generous enough with our experience, then you'll find that there are so many out there that are quite like you and who deal with some of the thoughts and some of the we all in this shit, period, you know. And I have to believe that I'm not alone. That there was a time that I used to think I was alone, like nobody else experiences this. Like your life is just fucked up, sis. The way you think is just fucked up, you know. That happened to you because you deserved it. Nobody loves you. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Of course, you're not worthy of protecting. That's why no one protects you. You're not worthy of being heard, so you might as well go and hide yourself and shut up. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people believe. And I believed that for a long time. I no longer believe that, but I also understand that I have not completely and fully arrived. I also understand that every chance that I have to get up in the morning and start a new day is a chance for me to learn more about myself and to grow and to learn more about the world. So, yeah. I just wanted to share that with y'all. I don't know. If you feel me, then you feel me. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching the channel. Do not forget to subscribe. I love all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. In the meantime and in between time, until the next time, you be fit, be fierce, be fabulous. Healthy is the new sexy. Bye, y'all.